Hello and welcome to Cloud Printing at the Bloomingdale Public Library. Today I'm going to show you how you can use any internet-enabled device, that's a phone, tablet, laptop, or even your PC at home, to print to our copiers. This is done through the library's website using a simple web browser. There are a few steps involved and we'll be walking through all of them, but once you have the process down it can be quick and easy. A couple of notes before we get started. There is no charge for the first 50 pages printed each day. After that it is 10 cents per page for black and white, 50 cents per page for color. Also, most file formats are recognized by the program. Images, documents, spreadsheets, etc. will most likely work fine, but you may find some more obscure file types are not compatible. I'll point these out as we go through. This can be solved by converting them to PDFs first. With that, let's get started at mybpl.org. If you haven't been here before, this is the library's website. The address again is mybpl.org, and once you get here, if you go to Services, you'll see Wi-Fi Printing. Now, Wi-Fi Printing takes us to a service that we work with that allows you to print to our copiers. Before we go through all the steps, I just want to give you an overview of what's going on. You are going to be uploading files to an account that you create with this service. Once you have done that, you can then walk up to a kiosk that is next to our copiers, sign in to the same service, and see those files that you have uploaded, select them, and print. If that seems a little bit elaborate or confusing, completely understand, but it's the most direct way that we're able to find to get things from your home or your phone over to the copiers that are sitting and waiting to go. And once you've gone through the initial parts of creating the account and getting the feel for it, it does work pretty quickly. We use it here at the library quite a bit. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to, if you have not used it before, create an account. Now, if you have a library card here, or a card that is registered with our library, that is what you would use. But you're not ready to log in just because you have a library card. Because again, this is a different service that we are working with, so you're going to use your library card to create an account. So we would go to First Time User if you want to create a new account. Now here you would type in the library card number that you have. You see it defaults to just a generic 21531 number that is put in here. That is the beginning of all of the library card numbers here at the Bloomingdale Public Library. You would delete that and you would type in your own card number and whatever comes afterwards, and then you would put in your email or your phone number. A couple of notes with this. You can only have one card number associated with any email address. So if you're thinking that you have kids that have their own cards and you'd like to have them all associated with your own email or your own phone, that would be great. Unfortunately, that's not how the system works, so it can be a little bit troublesome with that. That also means that we can't do a lot of tests and create generic cards and attach them to our emails over and over again here. So that is a little inconvenient, but when you're new to this and you don't have anything associated with your email, it shouldn't be a problem. So you type in your card number, you type in your email address, and then submit. If you already have an account set up with this, we would go back and you will log in right here as we're about to do. If you're a first-time user and you submit that, after you do so, you will receive either a confirmation email or a confirmation text, depending on whether you chose email or phone. And once you have confirmed that, you will be able to use this account. Now I will type in the existing account that I'm going to use for this and log in. Now once I'm here, I see essentially the welcome screen for my account. If you have never used this before, you would not see any printed documents listed, and we don't see any documents listed here as ready to go. What we are doing here again is we are selecting the files that we want to upload, kind of like attaching something to an email. And once you have done that, you're able to walk over to our kiosk at your convenience, it could be days or weeks later, it doesn't matter, and say that you want to print them. You notice underneath the select a file to upload, it lists the file types that are accepted, and it's showing here that it works with different documents, spreadsheets, slideshows, other text and website formats, and lots of image formats. Those are all acceptable. If you have files that are not of that type, you might want to convert it to a PDF first, and then upload it here. That's the solution that I've used for a number of people in the past. So if you have something, say an Adobe file that you've created and is a much more elaborate file or a larger image, you might need to flatten that out and either make it a PDF or a JPEG or something simpler there. Or if you have a document file from, say, a Macintosh that is not one of these file types and you want to be able to upload that using Pages or something along those lines, then you might want to select the file that way. You first created a PDF and then select it as the PDF and upload it through that. So just a way to avoid possible problems and it not working for you for printing. Now, once we have the files that are ready to go, so that this is saved and available, One more note with that, you do have to have the saved file on your phone or your computer, so you can't just be looking at a website and say, I want to print this website and send it to there. You'd need to first save it as a PDF or copy it and paste it to a Word document and save it that way. Take a screenshot, that works as well. Any of those things are printable, but you can't just print directly from an application. You have to save the file first. So once the file is saved, we go to Select. We can go to Documents, Downloads, Images, wherever it may be. If you're on your phone, it would probably take you straight to your gallery or your downloaded files that are there. Select a file and open it. Now this is a common mistake people make when after they've clicked open, they think, okay, that's done, because when you're attaching a file to an email, very often when you select open, you are done. In this case, you've put the name of the file here, but you still need to upload it. And when I click that, it is now uploading and copying it to the website. And you see file uploaded successfully. Great. Now from here, we're able to see the name of the file, how many pages long it is, when it was uploaded, what the expiration date is. You see it's giving us a week to print this out. We can take a quick preview if we like, and that shows us what the file will look like. And if you want to get rid of it, you can delete it. Now I can upload another file if I want. Select a file to upload and grab another one there. Click Upload. There's a second one, and if I want to get a different file type, I could go over to Pictures. Grab that and upload that. Now once I'm ready to go, I have everything uploaded here, and within the expiration date I could visit the library and print. And so with that, we will go to actually walking over to the kiosk and how we would go through that process. So when you're ready to print and you come to the library, we can walk right over here to the smart kiosk. You'll see it next to the copier. As we approach, you'll see the copier on the left and the credit card machine on the right. And then in the middle of the screen, we see our options. We're going to go with wireless printing. Now here's where you would either type in your card number or you would scan it. I'll type in the card number. After you do that, you would log in. Now when we arrive here, you see we have the files that we sent to it earlier. We're going to select the file that we want and then select how we want to pay. So if I select Web Team Meeting, you have to choose if you want it color or black and white, and if you want copies. Notice that if you choose something and then you update the copies, it loses the color or black and white selection that you made earlier, so you have to go back and choose black and white again. So it's best to do the copies first. And we click OK. Now, and this is key, we want to choose how we're going to pay. So we don't want to use the print button on the right. That would seem intuitive. It's a little bit of a confusing way of the layout, but that's not how we do this. So you want to either pay by account, that's your library card account, or pay by credit card. If I choose pay by account, it will already have the price for the job listed there in the upper right, and it will have the appropriate amount available there. You see the account balance. That is not going to be affected by this because there is zero charge. If this was more than 50 pages, we would see a charge listed there. So I'll say OK, and it immediately begins printing. You'll hear that going in just a moment. After it's done, it asks, do you want to quit printing? If you were done, you would say OK. We are not, so we're going to say cancel. And you notice that job has been removed from here, so you cannot print it multiple times without uploading it multiple times. Now, if we wanted to go on, we will again select something else. This time I will choose copy or color. OK. And this time I'm going to pay by credit card. Now for this, you need to select an amount that you want to have available to be charged. You will not necessarily be charged anything for this, but you have to have that amount available. So if you overpay, it's okay. So if I take $1 and say continue, even if I'm not charged for that, I have that $1 available. Now it says use pin pad to complete transactions. We go over here to the pin pad. I tap this. I know it might be hard to read the screen at times. And in just a moment, it will ask me if that charge is correct. It's the amount of $1. I say yes, using the pen. Now it's going to tell me that I can insert, swipe, or tap the card. So the insertion key is the usual at the bottom there. The tap is up there at the top, and the swipe is down the side. I will choose to tap. It goes very quickly. It's now processing it. And payment is approved. Just need to sign. And once the transaction is finished, it now returns to here. And it says printing. This time we'll say OK. Notice there's still a job left in there. That will be available to us until we want to print again. Say OK. And we see our print jobs have come out. And we are done. With that, thank you very much for your time, and if you have any further questions, please stop by the library.